Now that we went over the reaction category, we can go over the movement action. So the first type of action is basic speeds. A character's run speed is 5 spaces plus 1 space for 5 points they have in agility. A character's climb speed, jump speed, swim speed are half their run speed. And this is going rounding upwards. So if you have 5, it would be a 3 for all those. Unless the character has jump power, which can be used for vertical jumps as well. Now, the combining of modes, characters can combine 2 or more modes of travel in the same movement action. For instance, if they begin their turn around the water, they can swim to the surface and fly to a nearby building. When combining 2 or more modes of travel, the character must use whichever mode has the lowest speed for their overall speed for that movement action. It also could be used for making multiple checks per movement action if you guys like to do checks in between combats, which I like to do. Let's go on to the next. Gliding. A character can glide listed to glide speed at the end of the turn. Which they glide, they lose altitude equal to half their glide speed. Swing lining is the same way. The reason why I'm doing these in the same bits is because most people use gliding will use slinging. Slinging consists of swinging from place to place like Spider-Man, and the swing lining has its own speed and its own rules for speed with the power. That's kind of how it is. And then if you have nowhere to attach, you fall at the end of your turn. Teleporting, another unique way of travel. The character can teleport between any 2 points. As described in the power, they use teleport. If they end their teleportation in the air, they fall at the end of the turn. So most things you notice is that it happens at the end of the turn. They do not like making things happen mid-turn. I don't know why, but it's just how it is. So carrying stuff your own size is easy. You can swing through that stuff, but with a successful challenging melee check, you can lift something 1 step larger than your normal size, but you cannot easily swing it or throw it at all. And it cuts your movement in half. For sneaking and hiding, this is an agility check, I'm pretty sure, versus a vigilance check. So in this case, it's a vigilance check against a character's agility defense. A success means the character is spotted. That's how it works. And for hiding, it's the opposite, agility check versus the vigilance check. And if they succeed, then the character is hiding. So towing, sometimes characters grabs or pins a target at the end like a rope or train or web line. This means the character can move towards the target or the target can move towards the character with their movement action. If either the attached character is strong enough to carry the other, or line or tow the character, narrowing. The point is there's a lot of rules for towing and carrying. You can just practically do it. I'm going to be honest. I don't think this rule is very important. At least not in my games, but go nuts. Here's the most important rule out of this: terrain. Now look, I don't give a fuck what this is. I actually don't care. The fact is, you read the baseline of this and then you build off of it, because terrain is the most important part about this. This game has a low ceiling when it comes to the combat system. It's not that complicated. So the terrain is really where it shines. You got to really add in the terrain. You got to really add in obstacles. You got to really add in checks, add in lasers, add in territory, add in fog. Like, make it so they can only see up to this many spaces. This is what you should be using if you're trying to enhance your combat within the Marvel game. I promise you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle your ass off trying to make combat fun in this game. And not fun, when I mean fun, I mean not repetitive. So use this. And then falling prone. While the character is prone on the ground, they have trouble against all melee checks. People making close attacks against them have an edge. All range attacks have trouble. It costs the character 1 space of movement to stand up. A prone character can crawl, move while prone. This is treated like moving over difficult terrain.